Hey, welcome back to another episode of the MindShare podcast. This show is sponsored by Kit's Keep in Touch Systems, a two-time international award-winning marketing suite for sales professionals, as well as REM Real Estate Magazine, Canada's premier monthly magazine for real estate professionals. Learn more about our sponsors by visiting my site, mindshare101.com. And while you're there, be sure to download your free copy of my book, The Ultimate Marketing Bundle, as well as learn more about our one-to-one coaching. Also, when you get to the site, you're going to see a pop-up about our upcoming MindShare in Toronto. Details are limited, and that is very much on purpose. What I will tell you is that we're hosting a 2-day MindShare in Toronto on May 29th and 30th. Once you register, we'll be in touch with more details. Don't be that person who says, I wish I was there. And don't wait, because this is a small, powerful group, and we're going to be solving big problems. Today's episode is number 224. All right. Welcome. Well, when you hear it start off like that, you got to know it's just you and me. You know, there's something about these solo episodes, right? We talk so much about content creation. We talk so much about like what to say and the perfect thing to say. And you got to know something. When I roll into these solo episodes with you, I almost don't know what's going to come out. So if you are driving right now, outside of your safety for actually driving and the law, I say buckle up because you never know what's about to happen. If you're not driving, you're not wearing a seatbelt, you might want to, hold on to something. You know what? Who knows? Let's figure out where this one goes. But I will say this as well. I think it was this morning in our MindShare Masters community, which is our group coaching community. In fact, here we go, right? I'm going off like left field here. If you're part of that community, by the way, and if you're not, I guess this is a good time to share with everybody, but that community is about to be shrinking in a massive, massive way. The community itself resides on Facebook. It is a group. It is a paid group. So you need to have done something with MindShare in some capacity to be able to get into that group. Whether you're a one-to-one coaching client, whether you've paid for a monthly or an annual membership, whether you've attended one of our masterminds in the past or you're about to, that's what's going to give you lifetime access. Now, we've got folks in there that have come through organically through some of the other things that have been done over the years. But the one thing about these groups, right, and we know this a lot about groups, is that sometimes you can get involved in one. And oftentimes, there's millions of them out there, right? But there's not a lot of engagement. There's not a lot of traction going on. There's not a lot of people talking and networking. And one of the requests that we've been getting a lot from our community within the MindShare 101 ecosystem is for a really strong referral network. And something that really comes across my plate on a regular basis is, Dave, who do you know in? And so, I need somebody to connect with because I got some clients in this, one spot. It could be on the other side of the country. And hey, I happen to know just a few people in the industry. It's only been about 18 years playing in the sandbox with you guys, right? So we got a lot of great connections, people that we trust, people that we know do a good job, people that we are willing to refer. But the idea here is that within that community, we're going to bring everybody together in there and really, again, shrink it down from how many people are there now and just have the people remaining that are either, currently part of our ecosystem or people that are going to be part of it. And it's because you're going to understand that MindShare 101 is about a culture. It is about bringing people together, whether I'm working one-on-one with you or it's in a group coaching setting, it's in any type of capacity, but it's about bringing people together that really want to up their game, that want to up their level of production of what they're doing. They want to have the right referral sources. They want to have a network of people. They want to feel part of something. And the one thing you know about MindShare, whether you're part of this right now or you're just tuning in for your first time, if you're tuning in for your first time, you're just going to learn this, but we don't follow the herd, right? We're all about leading the way. Like we're not sheeple. That is one thing we are not. We are not sheeple. And you know it. I'm going to tell you the things you need to know. I'm going to say the things that need to be said. I'm going to say the things that most people don't want to say. And the one thing I am not going to do is just follow the herd. I'm going to call bullshit when we need to call bullshit. because it's important that we have transparency, that we truly understand what it is, we need to be doing and what's actually working, whether you like doing it or not. And we're going to talk more about that shortly. But anyways, I guess there's that tangent again, right? MindShare Masters community is going to be shrinking in a big way. If you are part of that community right now and you do not say a single thing, you never give value, you never pipe up, you never get involved in the conversations, you may not be there for long. But if you see the value in what we do here and you've been following MindShare and you listen to the podcast, and I thank you, then that MindShare Masters community is somewhere that you want to be. Because we put in daily marketing and sales tips there for you. There's daily motivation, daily inspiration. There are some incredible people within there. There's a very powerful network that exists within that group. And what we're going to do is we're going to make that network stand out. And that's by getting rid of a lot of the folks that really aren't actually living and breathing it. So that was a heads up about the MindShare Masters community, where we're going and why we're doing it. Now, I know I started down some other road a moment ago, and then I all of a sudden switched gears to MindShare Masters. And unless I hit stop on my recording right now and go back to listen to the top, I don't remember. And that's what I'm saying to you about, I know exactly here, check this out. The reason I got onto that community, and you're probably sitting there going, Dave, come on, seriously? But stay with me here, is because this morning in that group, I mentioned to everybody that consistency of your marketing is what's truly going to help you build the mind share. And we know that mind share equals market share. So again, internalize this right now, okay? And I want you to think about your marketing right now. I want you to think about the frequencies in which you're sending things out. Are you being consistent with your messaging? So let's go through this real high level, 7 different ways to communicate. And if you don't know what they are, go to MindShare101.com, download the Ultimate Marketing Bundle like I told you. It's completely free, but it's going to tell you all about the 7 ways. And I want you to have those 7 ways in your back pocket at all times. But if you think about this, okay? Social media. Are you there consistently? Phone calls. Are you there consistently? Your email blasts. How often are they going out? You see, so many people I speak with are looking for perfection, and they don't want to do something until it's perfect. Hey, let this podcast right here be an example for you. I have no idea what's about to come out of my mouth next. I mean, neither do you. But seriously, I want this to add value for you, and I'm going to keep working hard over the next few minutes to do that for you. What I'm also trying to do, though, is set an example that says this. I don't necessarily need to see the most perfect words. But if you can walk away with a little bit of value today, and I've caused you to come back again next week and to keep tuning into more episodes, well, now there's the consistency, right? The consistency in the fact that I get to share with you. I get to be there with you in some capacity. You get to learn. You get to apply. And my goal is that you win, period. Hard stop. I want you to win. That's what all of this is about. So through my consistency of my messaging and my emails and my social media and my podcast and consistently being there, you may not like everything you hear. You may look and say some of that didn't have value for me. Some of it was great. But I'm not stopping. I continue to come back and come back and come back and be there for you. And that's what I want you to think about in your marketing. How consistent am I? How often am I getting in front of my people? Now remember this. For the amount of video that we can consume in a day through any one of the social platforms, YouTube, whatever, there's a ton of content. Through the amount of emails that we all get in a day in our inbox, there is a ton of content. So the question is, are you showing up? Are you being seen? Are you giving people the opportunity to actually see that you're there? Oh, yeah, I sent an email last month. Yeah, but do you have another one sent going out this month? Well, I want to. No. That's not good enough. We need consistency. We need repetition. Because the more we show up, the more we're seen, the more we have an ability to get people to look at what we're doing. The more we have an ability to add value to those people. But if we're not showing up, well, then you cannot add the value. Now, is everything you're going to say, just like I said to you a moment ago, is everything you're going to say going to be totally value added? Going to be the most, golden answer for somebody to, the secret of the fountain of youth? No. but sometimes it will be. Sometimes you'll hit it. So it's not so much about perfection, saying the exact right thing, because again, there's so much content out there. You may send the perfect email, make the perfect post, but in that moment, people just weren't looking at it. Or people, maybe that one person wasn't in the mindset to watch or read it that day. So you missed the opportunity. I mean, you didn't because you were there. But the understanding here is now, if you're consistent with your messaging and you keep coming back, at some point they will tap in, they will read, they will get the value, and you will build the positive MindShare. So again, I had put that out in the MindShare Masters community today, and I'm sharing that with you right now because I want you to be thinking more about consistency than you do about perfection. Everybody wants to be perfect. People don't want to get on video because they don't like what they look or sound like, but don't worry about it. You look the exact same way as you do when you walk out the door in the morning. They don't want to go on social media because they're scared about what other people might say. But again, why? If you've got something of value to add, most people won't be negative about it. And hey, side note, if somebody was negative about it, don't worry about it. Who cares? Haters are good. It means you're actually doing something. It means people are noticing that you exist. So embrace that shit. But don't let, this idea of perfection, because perfection really is just the process of trying to get better. I mean, look that shit up in Google. Definition of perfection. Nothing gives you a specific definition that says this is what it means to be perfect. Perfection is you working towards trying to get better. Consistency, though. Consistency is the magic ingredient to achieving everything we want in life. Anything, your goals, anything you do. Now, this is all stuff that, again, within our MindShare Masters community, we talk about. This is a lot of stuff that I cover off with my coaching clients. I mean, in fact, I want to give a big shout out to all of my coaching clients right now. For all of those, of you that are tuned in at this moment, thank you. I'm grateful for you. I am humbled that I have the opportunity to work with you and help you get to your next level. And seriously, a big, just mad props to you. I think it's amazing to be able to be alongside the journey with you. And for all of those of you that may not be coaching with me, maybe coaching with somebody else, or maybe you're on the fence about coaching. And if you are, I want you to go back to some of the episodes where we have coaching clients on and listen and watch their experiences. Go to the end, listen to their experience with coaching, never mind just, their experiences out there in business. But I'm giving you guys all mad props. And I want to say to everybody here that a lot of the things we work on with our coaching clients right now, we know that multiple offers are back in, full force in a whole bunch of different, communities. So if you're quiet right now, I again go back to, have you been consistent enough with your marketing? We've been talking a lot about branding with a lot of our clients right now and sort of, what are we doing with our brand? And is it time to revamp that brand? And we've had some of our clients revamp theirs. We have others that, the stuff is nice and fresh. It really works for today's world. And again, understand from a branding perspective, it's not just about a set of colors and a logo and a slogan and some photos. It's about building MindShare. It's about finding that tiny little space in somebody's brain and occupying that space for instant recollection so that when people think about what you do for a living, they think about you first. This is why I'm always saying build the MindShare. Again, you may not have said the exact right thing to them today, but the fact that you keep coming back, you're building MindShare. And this is where the brand starts to implement. The brand starts to take up that space in their brain. The brand starts to stand out to them when they're ready to do. We know this. We know that through, again, working with our clients and so just giving you some of the high-level stuff we've been talking about with our clients and things we've been working through lately. And I want you to internalize this as well for yourself, especially if you're not working with us right now. Am I having any of these issues? Have I had any of these questions? Do I have any of these challenges? Do I want more help in these areas? We've been answering the question of where listings are coming from. We know exactly where they're coming from, and people are working, their butts off to actually drive even more, which is really amazing. So we've highlighted it, we've identified it, and now we're working towards it. So again, if you're looking for more deals right now, we got the answer, right? We've talked about client expectations and, setting the right experiences and, really laid out plans for how do you do that, right? Role playing is always a big one that we talk a lot about, whether it's for, door knocking or any type of lead generation, maybe even just, making phone calls to people you haven't spoken to in a while. Scheduling, the discipline, the choices, the effort that needs to be put in. Much the same when the effort's put in and the discipline is there and now it becomes a habit. Oh, well, now you're an unstoppable machine. So we've worked a lot and we continue to on a regular basis work through, how to work on scheduling, how to empower time to manage us. And I mean, patience, right? Patience is always a big one in this game. We know that this game is all about like the long play, right? It's a long-term investment. Yet for some reason, when we're in the sales side of it, it's like, I need deals immediately. But we fail to remember and realize that it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. So we talk a lot about, building out the process, building out the system, then trusting in the process and not making knee-jerk reactions, right? Understanding that what we've built, the foundations we have is what is going to propel us for the long term in this game. Right? So marketing plans and systems and processes are always a big part of the conversation. How to handle objections and how to implement new strategies. I mean, here, talking about AI, and let's talk about that for a moment. Because AI is a big deal out there now with artificial intelligence, and we're seeing a lot of adopters now that are still trying to figure out how to leverage it. Some people that are totally scared, they're like, I got no idea what to do with that. And if you don't, there's a whole bunch of different platforms out there. And I'd go to Google and say like AI platforms, and you'll come up with a whole bunch of them. And I'll single one out right now, ChatGPT, which just seems to be the real popular one for like sort of the mainstream, right? If you go in there and give it the right prompts, you tell it what you want, you ask it the right question, this thing will spit out such incredible content. You almost sit there and go, oh my God, that is wild. I mean, it's exactly what you'll do. And if you've used it, you know what I'm talking about. But the one thing I want to caution everybody on, okay, and this is the thing that I really want you to pay attention to. You need to be a subject matter expert if you want to advise people in whatever arena you play in. So for example, for me, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to consulting, when it comes to coaching, when it comes to speaking, when it comes to helping salespeople, we consider ourselves subject matter experts. We take our own courses about it. We train on our own courses about it. We talk to people about it daily. We live it. We breathe it. We've been in it for 20 years. We are subject matter experts. I don't need a machine to teach me or to give me the words to tell you. So where can you leverage ChatGPT then? Well, this is stay with me here. I don't need the words to tell me. I don't need the machine to give me the words to tell you, like I said. What I can do with the machine, if I wanted to, is I can prompt it to help me sharpen my skills. I can prompt it to help me spark ideas. I can prompt it to see what might be, a trending topic right now, which, again, I really don't need the machine to tell me that because we talk to so many people on a daily basis. We know what's up. But again, I can leverage it to give me ideas. And that's really the idea of where I'm going with how you could leverage it. Because what you don't want to do, you never want to be caught in a situation where you've put out an email that was actually written by a machine. You then slapped your name on it and sent it out to everybody. And then somebody says to you, hey, Dave, when you were talking about the market and what's actually caused the market to drop, can you tell me more about that? And now all of a sudden you're lost. You're like, oh my God, I don't actually have the answers. I don't even know what they're talking about. And right there, you are no longer a subject matter expert. In fact, you've probably lost a little bit of credibility. In fact, you've probably lost a lot of my trust because you told me you knew. Then when I asked you, you couldn't even hold the conversation, which kind of tells me you didn't know. And I may not know that you got a machine to write it for you, but that right there is where the machine can get you in trouble. So again, when it comes to marketing, I really think that this AI stuff is actually super, super cool. And I think you really need to play with it to get a sense of like, what does it do? How can it help me? But the one thing I want you to keep in mind, I just want you to keep top of mind at all times is I guess the best way to say this is like, don't plagiarize. Don't take what the machine wrote and just spit it back out to people. Instead, leverage the machine to help you figure out your own thoughts, your own opinions, your own take on the so-called market, let's say, and then go write up your content and share that out. Then go record your video and share that out. Don't let the machine take over your job. Okay. We've talked a lot about in this business about remaining relevant and how to remain relevant and how to prove our value and why are people asking us to cut commission? Well, again, very simple and plain. Because if you're not proving your value, people are going, what do I need you for? And if you continue to let machines and automation take over your job, at some point you're going to be out. So just keep that one in the back of your mind when it comes to how you leverage this new technology. We've talked a lot with our coaching clients about coming up with creative ways to do listing videos and testimonial videos and getting back on track when you get thrown off. What is that system? What is that process? Because, whether it be vacation, whether it be a bad mindset, whether it be what we think is a bad market, right? But we lay out all those plans, goals and tracking and, how the database is the gold mine. And where I want you to be thinking too when we talk about the market is not about being an order taker. You need to be a hunter in today's market. Like, are you slow out there right now? And if you're nodding your head like, no, I'm good. I'm happy for you. Seriously, I am. And I still think we could do more. And if you are nodding in agreement like, yeah, I am right now, then look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, how often am I in touch with my database? Am I making enough phone calls? Am I actually connecting with people? Am I meeting new people and putting them in my database? Forget the social, forget the email, forget any of that right now for a moment. How many conversations are you having? How many people are you adding? Is everybody going on the 10-year plan for long-term keep in touch? Because if not, and if you're spending most of your time behind a screen, behind a keyboard, then chances are you probably are a little bit slower out there right now, or maybe a lot slower out there right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, whether again, it's that, stepping out of that comfort level, you got to get out there. You got to make your phone calls. You've got to connect with people. There are deals sitting in your database, but if you don't hunt for them, you will never know. So think about that. Think about being a hunter at all times, not an order taker, because the hunter is always going to have food. The hunter is always going to be able to eat. And as we talk about the market, let's be real clear again. It is not a bad market. It's not an overly amazing market, but it's not a bad market. This is a very normal market. This is where professionals are made. This is where resilience is built. Said it before and I'll say it again, just because they're not selling in 30, 60, 90 seconds, but instead it's taking 30, 60, 90 days, doesn't mean it's a bad market. Now, I will say this. I do believe that in the next 12 to 24 months, we are going to see a bad market. Yeah. And now is your time to brace yourself and prepare yourself for that. Why do I think this? Well, let's go back to 2020. Let's go back to 2021, even the top of 2022. With all this newfound money, all this gold that people were just, falling from the sky. Because everybody was putting up their hands to buy and sell real estate. Everybody was making a move because people are sheeple. Seriously, I'm sick and tired of the sheeple mentality. But it is what it is, right? So many people just follow what other people are doing. And that's why people are buying and selling houses like crazy. Oh my God, they're going to get the house. I'm going to offer more. Well, here's the question I got, and here's the reason I think the market's going to get tougher. When people went for their initial financing, let's say, and they wanted to go get a loan, a mortgage, right? And I could use any example I want for like how much down payment they had versus like how much they needed, whatever. But when people went for that, they got qualified at a certain amount. They then used that information to go look for houses that were within the price range they could afford. People found the houses. People made offers on the houses. And then so many other people who were in the same type of bracket of this is what you can afford also found the house and also made the offer. Which did what? Right. Drove the prices up. Now we were into our multiple offer situation. Now people were taking conditions out. Now people were going for secondary financing. Now people were trying to find money that they didn't have and they were not getting qualified for just so they could buy the house. And I got no idea how it happened. And I've asked this question so many times to people. But how'd they get the extra money? Like they weren't qualified to be able to afford that. So where'd it come from? And if you want to sit there right now and tell me there were gifts from parents or people immigrating in or whatever, let's be real here. They still only had so much money. They still only had so much buying power. They still were only bringing in so much money on a monthly basis to be able to pay their bills. So they went and overextended themselves to get into a market that was incredibly heated. They then doubled down on that in the exact same transaction to go get more money just so they wouldn't lose out on the property. We drove prices way up. And now, after the fact, as we all know, no surprise here, but interest rates are up. Well, what does that do in the, call it 3 to 5 year span once you've actually locked in your mortgage? That's right. At some point, we come up for renewal. Now, when we come up for renewal and interest rates are higher, what then happens? 1 + 1 = 2. The monthly payment becomes more. And all of a sudden, affordability becomes, well, unaffordable for many. Then what? Well, now I can't afford. I have to divest. I am now going to go sell that property. But the property ain't worth the same as it was when you bought it. You're losing money. Now what's happening is people are flocking to get out of these properties. There's a big influx of inventory. Prices start to come down. And in fact, if you're ready to buy, that's the moment. So I do believe that right now we are in a decent market. Decent. We're in a good market. Not in an overheated or like this amazing market, but we're not in a bad market. And if you want deals, they are out there. We are still, like I said before, hearing about multiple offer situations right now. We are seeing things start to pick back up. And as the blue skies start to come in, the weather starts to get hotter, you know there's going to be more people out shopping. There's going to be more people out listing. More people out spending money. Everybody feels better. The mindset is better. Again, the weather's better. The birds are chirping. The sun's shining. People are ready to go. Things are good. You just got to be a hunter right now to take advantage of this market. You've got to be a hunter right now to be able to be in a good position for down the road when everybody starts to try to get out of their houses, because there's going to be a lot of people that do. Just, again, think about it. Renewals are going to come up. People are not going to be able to afford. Not everybody, but there's going to be a lot of people that can't. You want to be the person they think of. That's where listings are going to come from again. So there's a lot of opportunity today. There's a lot of opportunity coming up. In order to survive it all, work your database. It's amazing how everybody, so often everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, because again, if you're coaching with me, you're not part of the everybody. Big props to you again, right? My people. But seriously, right now, so often people are out there trying to figure out, how do I generate new leads? How do I run ads? How do I farm? How do I get out there and send flyers? How do I meet new people? Yet when we talk about it, and you know this, and I'm saying this all the time, 70 to 90% of your business come from your database. So why aren't we out there working the database on a more consistent basis? Well, I need new people. I've exhausted my list, but have you? Have you really? Like, do you have complete contact information for everybody in your database? I'm talking phone numbers, birthdays, mailing addresses, email addresses. Do you know what they like? Do you know what their favorite sports team is? Do you know when their home anniversary is? Do you know when their birthday is? The more we know about people, the more we can communicate with people, the more we can have just a conversation with two people and not have to worry about sales. Now, the more commonality we have together, because I know who you are, you're in my database, we like each other, we're kind of our people, right? Well, the less I got to talk about sales. But now we got to know you, I like you, and A, trust you. And if your marketing is happening consistently enough, they'll know what you do. And you'll be in a perfect position to be able to get that business when that time is right. We just don't know who, we don't know when, we don't know where. But if we go back to what I started today, all about consistency, we will be in a position to get that. But you got to be willing to do what the others won't do. You got to be willing to step out from behind that keyboard, willing to go out there and door knock, willing to do the dirty work, willing to do what everybody goes, I'm too good for that. I'm not going to do that now. No way, I don't do that. Yo, if you are in sales, understand that the conversations you have with people are what are going to drive more sales. Period. Hard stop. You've got to talk to more people. You've got to be willing to do what other people won't do. That's it. And knowing that so many people don't want to, get out and door knock, beautiful. Go out and door knock. I know, but I really don't like it. Yeah, but it works. Go host an open house. Oh my God, I hate doing those. You sit there for 2 hours and what? And all these people walk in the door who don't have an agent? All these new leads, new opportunities, new people that we could put into a database walk through the door into the house you are sitting at. They came to you. You don't want to do that? Too good for that, eh? Yeah, back in 2020, 2021, when it was easy to just sort of sit there and people come to you, sure. But it ain't the same times right now. Again, you got to be willing to do what they won't do. They. Got to love them. There are a lot of them out there. But like I say about MindShare Masters and our MindShare community and this culture, we ain't them. We are not sheep. We don't follow. We don't do what everybody else does. We do what works. And when we know what works, we just double down, we triple down, and we continue to make it work even more. And I think that's an important one to bring up again, right? Is trusting in the process. Understanding that things will go up, understanding that things will go down, but understanding that if you could stick it out and understand and know, and even look back on experience to know when things worked, when they didn't work, as long as you trust in the process and you be consistent about everything you're doing, you're going to win. Again, this is all stuff that we work on with our coaching clients on a daily, right? I want to be in your ear on a daily. I want to be on your shoulder for you so that when you're out there by yourself, feeling lost, feeling like you're not sure which way's up, or feeling like, you're on top of the world, maybe that's the moment where we need to have a little reality check, a little dose of reality. It's not about bringing you down when you're way up, but it's about keeping you even keel. Holding you accountable to the process, because we all know, right? You get a listing, all of a sudden, the world is beautiful. We're going to work on that listing the whole time. We're not really going to focus on other things because we haven't got the time. But that's all bullshit. Not having the time. I get that you're busy. But if you really only got one ball in the air in your day, it's not enough balls in the air. There's got to be a few things happening at all times. And we think about the few things like what, Dave? Well, hey, so you got the listing. You're working on the listing. You're working on the process of the listing. Any stage you're at. But it doesn't take away from the fact that your marketing should still be consistent, that your phone calls should still be happening, that you're still out there hunting for new business. And again, there's the difference of the order taker and the hunter. The order taker looks and says, I got my listing. We're good. I'm going to focus on making this pizza. When the pizza's ready, I'm going to deliver it. And then when it's done, I'm going to wait for the next order. The hunter, on the other hand, says, hey, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But at the same time that I'm making it, I'm going to go make sure that I'm getting prepared for the next one so that I got another one to make immediately after. Or maybe I could start it at the same time. Come back from the pizza thing and think about a sale, right? Think about a deal. Think about a listing, right? Don't just work on the one. Empower time to manage you so that you'll be able to work on the many. Again, there's your growth. one by one by one. Or would it be nicer to be like 10 by 10 by 10, and not that you're going to get 10 deals at all times and whatever else? Although there are some of you that are working that many deals, and it's great. Totally different conversation. We talk about infrastructure. We talk about what it takes to have a team behind you, people that are going to help you with these things, because it is a lot to manage for sure. But sticking with this right now, again, hunter, order taker, time, database, doing the things that they won't do. Again, it's the accountability to your process. It's the discipline that you implement on a regular basis. In order to have success in a market like this, which again is not a bad market, trust in the process. Put in the effort. Be consistent. And build that MindShare. If you want any help with it, get in touch. You're either listening to this on one of your favorite podcast platforms, or maybe you went to my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're there, be sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle, our 31-page ebook, including your free 90-day social media content counter to help you build more mindshare so that you get more market share. A reminder as well that if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching, an in-person keynote talk for your upcoming event, and/or ongoing virtual training, just get in touch with us. We'll set up a consultation call, learn more about what you're looking to achieve, and how we will help you do just that. Also, make sure to get registered for a small group mastermind taking place on May 29th and 30th in Toronto. This is going to be 2 powerful days of collaboration, networking, and problem solving. Don't forget to leave a review of this podcast at www.ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101, and connect with me on Facebook at mindshare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan 101. I want to thank Kits Keep in Touch Systems and REM Magazine for sponsoring the MindShare podcast. Be sure to visit our site to learn more about what these powerful companies will do to help you grow your business. This has been another episode of the MindShare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.